Hey guys, it's that time again where I answer your Tumblr questions, so I'm going to answer them for you. The first question, awkwardly, is what about no underwear on girls? This is really awkward. Yeah, it's awesome. Do you ever think you're pregnant when your period's late? I don't know how that could happen. I don't cheat with guys and I don't cheat with girls. Point out if you're watching this channel. My period's late, I don't really seem to think that I'm Mary or something and I'm gonna magically get a baby. It just makes me think that my body's been a dick again. Okay, so could you do a cover of I Get Off by Hailstorm? I actually really like Hailstorm. One of my friends, Luke, got me into them, so that suggestion I'm going to consider, definitely. When are you going for these drinks with Tom? When we're free, really. I mean, I am free, Tom's free, but it's the fact that Joe and Dan have full-time jobs. They work from like 6 till 5 or something ridiculous like that, and the only time they're really free is at weekends, and that tends to be when I work. Yeah, I think we are going to be talking about it at some point, of when we're all going to meet up and get drunk, and that will more than likely be the time when me and Tom do these questions. Just keep an eye out, again, as to when we will be announcing when we're all going drinking and stuff. We could even meet up with a few people in Nottingham for drink. Could you do a video about the last gigs you played? How did they go? Blah blah blah. I might as well answer that really on this video, because if I just have a video based on that question, I'm not sure. It probably only last about 5 minutes or something. The last gig we actually played, Vic Stock Day 2 at the Vic Inn in Derby, and we played with some awesome bands. Can't remember all of their names, but the headlining band was Either Plays Dead. We managed to bring down about 20 people to the show, and I'd just like to say, first off, thank you all so much for coming down to the gig, for watching our set, because we were on first on that day, and in the circumstance that Joe has actually sprained his wrist. He is the drummer. Unfortunately, he couldn't play the show due to the sprained wrist, and it wasn't advised for him to play the show. So me and Tom decided to do an acoustic set, because we knew we had some people coming down to see us, and we didn't want to cancel it, because first off, we really loved the guys in Either Plays Dead, and we wanted to stick around for the show and watch the bands. Unfortunately, we couldn't, because Tom, Joe and Dan had to go. There was an intention of Jen and me staying for the day to watch the whole of the bands and then go out with Either Plays Dead. Unfortunately, she had a phone call from work, which got her very upset. Don't want to go too much into it, but yeah, we couldn't stay the whole night. So if you were wanting to hang out with us, I am really sorry for leaving early. But regardless, our set actually went pretty well. Considering I was quite nervous about doing an acoustic set, it went well. I really enjoyed that gig. Okay, so that was that gig. The gig before then, we played at Ryan's Bar in Derby, and we played with a band called Hell's Gazelles, and they were fucking amazing. Kind of like a hard rock band, and they had the image and played like a lot of covers. I think one of them was Led Zeppelin, if I remember, and they were like our age, and it was just fantastic to see a band that was kind of different from us and from other bands. They were really cool, and I had some uni people come down to the show as well, so that was awesome. And afterwards I went for spontaneous drinks with a few people, so that was a good gig. But yeah, those are the 2 gigs we recently did, and they were really, really cool. We met some awesome people who came to the show, and shame we couldn't hang out with them more. Maybe next time. Whilst we're on the topic of gigs, our next show is on the 17th of June, which is at the Maze in Nottingham, so if you can come down, please do, because we'd love to see you. Next question is, what did you write Breather about? I actually didn't write Breather, Tom did. He seems to be doing quite a lot of lyrics at the moment. So if you want to know what it's about, go and pester him again, because I actually don't know what it's about, and it's one of my favourite songs at the moment from the band. I absolutely love playing it live, and I really like the lyrics. It's just I don't really know what the topic is about all that much. So I'll link his Tumblr on the description of this video and you can go and ask him. What's one thing you need to do right now? There's only one thing that I need to do at the moment, and that is to scan 2 images of these golf cards that my dad has given me, clean them up on Photoshop, and then he wants me to enlarge them, the 2 cards, on the A3 page, and then he wants me to print it out on A3 cartridge paper, and then he's going to frame it. So that's the only thing I need to do. Other than that, I have literally nothing else to do. How long does Joe have to stay off drums for? We were meant to have practice tonight actually, and Joe informed us that his wrist was still feeling kind of fragile. We don't want to put him in jeopardy of, you know, not being able to drum ever again or whatever. Although that might seem a bit extreme, which it probably is, but the fact of the matter is if he drums and he's using his wrist, it's going to make the healing process twice as long if he uses it. So we're cool. We're giving him some time to get better in that. I'm not sure in answer to that question. It all depends on Joe himself. Some people might be thinking it doesn't take that long, but you know, everyone's different. How does it feel knowing you've played the same stage in Nottingham as the YouTuber Patty Walters that you said you like? I think it's awesome. I am a fan of Patty Walters because his covers are amazing on YouTube, but I actually prefer his covers, him on his own, than his actual band. That's just my opinion. I just prefer him on his own. I think if he actually did a solo thing with his acoustic guitar or something along those lines, I'd prefer it a lot more. But I think it's cool because he is quite a well-known YouTuber, and I just think it's amazing that, you know, Nottingham is actually becoming more of a place for bigger bands and bands like As It Is to actually come down to and play. I've always thought that Nottingham and Derby as a music scene is pretty poor in contrast to other cities like Birmingham and, you know, London. The fact that I actually read an article the other day, I think it was yesterday perhaps, where the Harrow Dog in Derby is actually getting a venue which will have a 500 capacity. So the owners of Harrow Dog, if you've ever been to the Harrow Dog, there is a place literally next door to it, and it looks like it could be a venue. Like, it looks really big at the front. It looks really cool actually, and the capacity of the place is 500, meaning that, you know, bigger bands could play there, and it would be actually awesome. We played the Harrow Dog quite a lot, so we need a venue like that. I've always said that there needs to be something equivalent to Rock City at Nottingham in Derby to make the music scene bigger. I think the Vic Inn is amazing. The amount of times we play there is a lot because we do like it there, but I think to make the music scene even bigger there needs to be more venues and more pubs where bands can play. Did you write Save Yourself, or is that another of Tom's? And it was a little bit of me and Tom that wrote Save Yourself. I came up with the gist of the lyrics, so I'd written out verse, chorus, bridge and everything, and I'd gotten some guitars to fit around these lyrics, and I sent the whole recording to Tom, and he loved the idea of it revolving around Poison, and he changed the guitars a lot, and I really like the changes that he'd done. I think they sound amazing. And he actually did change around the lyrics as well, because yeah, he loved the topic of Poison, but I actually struggled a little bit with the lyrics to get my point across about, you know, the whole topic of what the song was about, and he made the lyrics sound amazing as well. So it was a little bit of me and him. And the song, yeah, is revolving around this Poison idea, but it's mainly me writing lyrics from someone else's point of view and not my own. So I'm pretending to be someone else who's written these lyrics. And so it's about somebody knowing that they can't have someone they like, and the person they like is their poison. And that's really it, really. It's kind of upsetting, really. It's never really a nice situation for somebody to be in love or like somebody so much, knowing that they can't have them. But then also, it's a selfish thing as well, because you shouldn't have really fell in love or liked somebody when you know you can't have them, in the sense that if they're with somebody, they're with somebody, and you can't really chase them away or convince them to be with you. Those are all your Tumblr questions. If you've got any others, please, do feel free to send me whatever you want to ask me, or if you just want to talk, anything like that, I'm cool with it. So, thank you for watching, and I shall see you soon, hopefully. Bye.